Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So we've got two pieces of news here, Korra in Fortnite plus an update to the news from yesterday where they have removed the interesting marketing points suggesting information about an Avatar Studios animated series. So we'll get to that after we cover Korra in Fortnite. So yes, it is new season launch day in Fortnite, and that means of course data mines and people who have access to it a little bit early pointing out all of the information that is here. And one of those things is that Korra is included as part of the battle pass, specifically in one of the sort of like side bonus sections, as like she has 2 pages of rewards by herself. But that also means that you will not have access to Korra immediately when you start the season. Korra stuff is going to be starting on April 2nd. That's when I guess the quests that are part of Korra's page will activate, and then when you do those quests in game, you will gradually unlock all the different rewards, eventually getting Korra, and then more on the next page. So there's like 12 Korra rewards, including the Korra character herself, the skin. But then based on what it was last season, which was Solid Snake, on the last item on page 2 for Snake was Old Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4. So I'm guessing they'll do something somewhat similar here and have the final reward for Korra be probably a book 4 Korra skin. Could be book 2, but I'm guessing they'll do the bigger change up and actually do a final season Korra. That would be very cool. And then we'll see what else they add in terms of like emotes and stuff like that in here. Back bling and all these different items that you have in Fortnite. It's going to be cool to see what they do. I'd say the trails of as your character dives are actually going to be very good for Avatar, just the kind of elemental ones, so that could be quite interesting to see. But we do have a little bit of other information, like there's a partial kind of trailer that I think people found on social media, and you can see Korra in action here. And the main reveal here is that there's going to be these mythic abilities or items, weapons, pickups basically to get elemental powers when the Avatar update properly starts. So that's going to be, I think, very exciting. I'm assuming there'll be more than just this water one, that there will probably be fire, earth, and air also. So the Avatar event is shaping up pretty well overall, I think. We'll get to this in a second. Of course, Korra being in the game as well as the other Avatar skins when they come, it's going to be fun to see all the emotes and stuff like that, the pop culture references, the memes and all that sort of stuff happen because of just how much stuff is in Fortnite. So exciting stuff. You can see my plan here, mix of Korra, Dragon Ball, TMNT, Naruto. It's going to be exciting stuff. And yeah, 12 rewards on the Korra track. You will need the battle pass to get access to this, so just be aware of that. And then also, Lego Korra. So when you unlock Korra, you'll get the Lego Korra skin for the Lego Fortnite mode. My question is really like, does this mean anything for actual Avatar Lego sets? Don't really know, but obviously for this model to be in the game, Fortnite had to make it. They had to get it approved, obviously, by Lego, and I guess by Avatar Studios Paramount. So there's that sort of like relationship there. That definitely opens the door to like, okay, Avatar Lego sets are maybe on the table. Not really sure if this directly confirms that that is going to happen, but this looks like a very like reasonable Korra minifig that they could actually do. Nothing about this feels like the parts or painting is unrealistic. So the model is there. They would just have to make it with some other stuff, I guess. We'll see what happens, but we know they're planning some sort of an Avatar merchandise push, and certainly a Lego kind of tie-in would be great for Avatar to launch it on the merchandise shelves once again. So interesting stuff. Again, you will have to wait when it comes to Avatar Fortnite for a few more weeks. That's when everything's going to kick off. So the Korra stuff's going to come in. That will likely lead to probably the Avatar characters appearing in the item shop, the other skins for probably like Zuko, Katara, everyone like that. We'll see how many other Korra stuff they add in as well. And then there will be an actual Avatar event added to the game, like there was a TMNT event a few weeks ago, where this will be when the items come onto the map and stuff like that, the elemental pickups, the Aang event pass will become available to get Aang, just like you can get Korra. and more items as well. So it's going to be big Fortnite stuff here. This is a major video game collaboration here because of how huge Fortnite is. So this has to be viewed as being a big Avatar video game kind of thing. And in terms of like, are Avatar Studios building up to something? Well, the Fortnite collab and the timing of it could be very interesting as well. But let's get to the main kind of event in a way of the video, and that is the news from yesterday and what has changed. So as you can see here, like I say, the listing that I talked about yesterday has been updated very specifically to remove the hot series point from the marketing information. And so we had this yesterday, 3 selling points: series, hot series, and award-winning new author. Today, this morning, all we have is the best-selling series and award-winning new author. No sign of that middle marketing point where all of the information came from. This naturally brings you to ask the question, what does this mean? Because it doesn't just mean that like, oh, let's move on, that information was false. That's not necessarily how this has to be interpreted. Was it just a mistake? Was it like based on wrong marketing information? Did the marketing people put this information together based off like rumored information or something like that? If it is just that sort of a mistake, then sure, they would take it down and not really say anything about it and just hope that like confirmed information gets out there eventually. But the other angle that's very just as likely to have happened is, did they reveal information, like actual real information, earlier than perhaps they were meant to? That they were maybe meant to put that live after some sort of an announcement from Paramount, but they've actually put it live first. And you have to keep in mind that when it comes to these listings, this has happened multiple times. Like, I have got a couple of scoops where just by looking at listings, I found out about books before they've been officially announced. Like the Roku novel, like the listing, I found it before they actually made the announcement at Comic-Con. And it's happened a variety of times like that, where I've got preview pages before the exclusive outlet got the preview pages just by looking at listings. Sometimes this stuff does just happen. The other point is that they've just directly done this before, where they've taken down information because it's not ready or wrong in some way. So 2 instances that this has happened relatively recently have been Echoes and Aftershocks, the first rumored title for the movie. That came from, I think, an Avatar Studios employee's LinkedIn account. And once it got out there, it was changed. So that was taken down because the fandom found it. The other point is actually just a few months ago, we got the information that apparently an actress's website, her About Us page, said she is the voice actress for Katara in the new Avatar Studios animated movie. And that got taken down after a while because the information got out there publicly. So also, you could say even the leaked image about Avatar Studios from CinemaCon, initially, they tried to take that down and were quite strict about it. I think they eventually on that one realized that this is just out there now. There's very little that we can do other than kind of suggest people to stop posting it. But you can see that there is this intent to like, we want to control our information out there. Still, there is absolutely a chance it was either or. It could just be nothing, but it could be information like ahead of time. Because, and I think this has to be an important point made in this, this is very realistic. This is information we're waiting for. Even if you ignore how this came out, we would still, at this point as fans, and knowing what we know about Avatar Studios, be absolutely waiting for information on the first series. Because we know it's in the works. They've talked about it before. Brian Robbins mentioned it back in 2021. That they're working on films and a new Avatar series. Obviously, the CG part of this has been clarified by Brian to not be correct, and they are still doing 2D animation, just so you're wondering. But here is a specific mention that, hey, a series is in development. They are working on multiple projects. We know that for a fact. And I'll bring up the quote here, the clip from a podcast that I'll mention a few times.
Then one day there will just be so much stuff.
And that is in relation to Brian answering the question of like, it's going to take a long time for this stuff to come out. But then there will be a lot. The plan is not to just do one project and then like a year, 2 years later, another project comes out. They do have plans to make this a little bit rapid fire, because that's the only way they're going to properly turn Avatar into a big Paramount franchise, is by having a certain level of kind of, agility here of like, hey, we've got a movie, and then pretty quickly we're going to have a series on our platform as well. That way we're doing good in the theaters, the movie then comes onto the streaming platform, but then we've got an exclusive series on the streaming platform as well. And you have to think about things from that business perspective as well. So October 2025 is what we're all waiting for, but it's just one movie. The big relaunch of the franchise. You can't then be like, see you in a year for the next one, when it's this big build-up of like Avatar Studios. They're working on multiple projects for a reason, so that there's relatively a small amount of time between the first and the second project. So this is why I think for months now, I think all of us have been wondering, when are they going to talk about that second project? What is the second project? Is it another movie? We've always, I think, felt it's probably more likely to be a series, because they want to have that exclusive content on the platform, Paramount Plus. And so this lines up with rumors from the past, this information right here, and just in general, what they are doing that is confirmed by like official information. Plus, like, it's exactly what like TMNT has been doing. They had their movie, they also have a series, and I think they plan to go back to a movie series. It's going to work maybe slightly different for Avatar, because we have the multi-era kind of approach, whereas with TMNT, it's more that they can do like different designs, like it's a different type of TMNT, they could just relaunch the show, where with Avatar it'll just be different eras basically. So there might be a little bit more kind of planning that needs to be done there, but still the core idea here is that I saw a lot of people that were quite surprised that like, wait, the series is also coming in 2025. That seems crazy. And yes, it does, when you factor in the production on like Avatar and Korra, and the kind of support, or kind of maybe lack of support, especially on Korra, they had. But they have a whole studios. They're fully supported by Paramount. And sure, factor in the layoffs that happened somewhat recently. But still, they have the support for at least a couple of projects here to start things off, which is what they didn't have before. They have this broader plan for multiple shows, multiple formats, trying to a certain degree maybe hit different audiences as well. And to do that, you can't have this take an eternity once it starts. And so the idea that within a couple of months we get a movie and then a series shouldn't really be a crazy prospect to you, in my mind, because remember what Brian said in that quote. A lot of stuff all at once, pretty much, in a way, is going to hit. That's part of the plan. It lines up with basically everything happening here. So that's the takeaway on this is, even if this is completely made up, and a news headline basically the same as this is still what we're waiting for. Because we just want, at this point, really clarified, detailed information on that first movie. Give that movie a title, put out a visual for it, double down on the release date, make it incredibly clear this is the first Avatar project, animated project since Korra. They need to do that. But then the second stage of what they really need to do is, what's the second project? Is it this second movie, a second and third movie? Are we starting with 3 movies? I don't think so. So you have to switch over to series. Announce what you're doing with series and what the general plan is. Because we go back to the rumored, Avatar News reported on this, that apparently, at least at one point in the past, the plan was 2025, 2026, 2027. Each of those years, the first 3 years of Avatar Studios, for there to be a movie and a series in every one of those years. 6 projects, 3 years. That was apparently the plan. So I'm assuming something along those lines is very much still in place. It might be slightly stretched out at this point, but the idea is that we still would be expecting a series to be announced pretty much any time now. Because we've known about the movie for so long, it only makes sense. So, to be super clear, confirmed information about Avatar Studios is they are doing 3 animated movies. The first one, October 2025, October 10th specifically, is the adult Aang and Co. Team Avatar movie. That's what apparently is going to start us off. There will be 2 other animated movies, though we don't know the details of them. Then if you do take this to be true, just to a certain degree, but it's somewhere behind the scenes, a series is being worked on, and it probably is going to be about a brand new Avatar. If you link it to the rumors, it is expected to potentially be about the Earth Avatar after Korra. If not, there's a bunch of past avatars we don't know anything about between the first Avatar, Avatar 1, and the group of avatars that go kind of furthest back from Aang, before you go all the way back to 1, that being Avatar Gun, Avatar Salai, and Avatar Zito. And there's a giant group of like basically 100 plus avatars that you could cover there as well. They've got so much room to work with. They're doing multiple projects, so Korra fans out there, I understand why you were maybe worried, but Korra is going to very likely get a project somewhere in the middle of all of these projects. Even just look at the other news here. Fortnite Korra. They're highlighting her as like the specific bonus track on the pass this year, for this season. That's a big thing. And that will definitely help. They haven't quite forgotten about Korra. I absolutely understand why people think they have, but for the multi-era stuff that they're doing, Korra is going to be a recognizable character, at the very least. They will want to do something more with her. That's something that I think people should be aware of. So yeah, in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on Fortnite cross Korra and the Avatar stuff in general. And then, what do you make of this? The information from yesterday being just directly taken away. No extra additions to the listing. It's just, this is taken away. Is it just, yeah, it was all wrong in the first place? Or are they trying to hide valid information here because it was revealed too early? Let me know your thoughts. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.